Hello, my friends. It's President's Week. When I was a kid, we didn't know about President's Week. We knew that February 12th was the birthday of Abraham Lincoln. We knew that February 22nd was the birthday of George Washington. But along the way, they were melded together, and people began to celebrate President's Week. I'd like to spend a few moments with you during this week of the presidents, of Abraham Lincoln and George Washington, and just to talk with you for a few moments about these men, these great, great American presidents, and their relationship to the Jewish people. When George Washington was president of the United States, there were at most a few thousand Jews living in America. It was not yet the place where hundreds of thousands of Jews would one day come. There were isolated colonies of Jews, some in Rhode Island, in Philadelphia, New York, Atlanta, and of course, in Rhode Island. The Rhode Island Jewish community was centered in Torah. And if you ever want to take a wonderful, wonderful trip, visit the Torah synagogue, because it is, I think, the oldest synagogue in America. Well, anyway, one day George Washington was coming to visit Rhode Island, and the leader of the Jewish community of Torah wrote him a letter praising him and thanking him for his visit to Rhode Island. He wrote a letter expressing the gratitude of what he called the stock of Abraham, their esteem for George Washington, and their warm welcome to the President of the United States. George Washington took that opportunity to write a very important letter to the Jewish community of Torah, a letter which enshrined our place in the mosaic of American life, a letter which enshrined the principle of religious liberty and extended it out to the few thousand Jews living in the new land, the new country of America. So what did George Washington say? He wrote these words, some of the most important words ever written to a Jewish community in America, maybe the most important. He wrote, quote, "The citizens of the United States of America have a right to applaud themselves for giving to mankind examples of enlarged and liberal policy, a policy worthy of imitation. All possess alike liberty of conscience and immunities of citizenship. It is now no more that toleration is spoken of, as if it was by the indulgence of one class of people that enjoyed the exercise of their inherent natural rights. For happily the government of the United States, which gives to bigotry no sanction, to persecution no assistance, requires only that they who live under its protection should demean themselves as good citizens." And then he said, "May the stock of the children of Abraham who dwell in this land continue to merit and enjoy the goodwill of the other inhabitants, while every one shall sit under his own vine and fig tree, and there none shall make him afraid." President George Washington said that the Jewish community of Torah and Philadelphia and New York and Atlanta and wherever they existed, they should have the right to be in this country as full citizens, and no one had the right to exercise bigotry or persecution or oppression or religious intolerance over them. It was a great moment in American Jewish history. And Abe Lincoln was a great friend of the Jews as well. It has been said that perhaps no president has been a greater friend of the Jewish people than Abraham Lincoln. Let me share with you two great examples which prove that. In 1863, General Ulysses S. Grant issued what he called Order Number 11, which expelled the Jews from northern Mississippi, Tennessee, and Kentucky. Now, Ulysses S. Grant was a great, great general, but he also was an anti-Semite. And President Abraham Lincoln, when he heard about Order Number 11, he countermanded it. He said, not in this country, never ever will the Jews be expelled because of the anti-Semitism of one individual or more than one individual. And there was something else that President Abe Lincoln did. Up until the Civil War, there were absolutely no Jewish chaplains serving in the U.S. Army. It was reserved to Christian ministers. When he was approached by Jewish leaders in the early 1860s, who said to him, there are now thousands and thousands of Jews who are fighting in the Civil War. They should be served by Jewish chaplains. President Abraham Lincoln understood the righteousness of their suggestion. And from that point on, Jewish chaplains were accepted into the United States Armed Forces to service and to pastor not just Jewish members of the armed services, but non-Jewish as well. Two great presidents, President George Washington, President Abraham Lincoln, known for 1,000 achievements, great deeds and accomplishments. But let's be a little bit parochial this week. Let's remember them for what they did on behalf of the Jewish people. And whether it's February 22nd or February 12th or President's Week, let's be thankful that we live in a land that had two such great men who served as presidents of the United States. Thanks very much.